Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Is the Cowboys front office setting their players up to fail? The list of frustrations grows with each passing year. Each year that passes without a Super Bowl victory. Each year without a conference championship. When yet another season ends in the divisional or wild card round, or even in missing the playoffs altogether, the frustration grows more. We all know the numbers by heart. Dallas hasn't won a divisional round game since the 1995 season. So, no NFC championship or Super Bowl appearances since then either. The Cowboys' record in regular season games since that year is 244-207. The team has won 9 NFC East titles in that span. Twice they were the top seed in the NFC when the playoffs began. Their playoff record since that last Super Bowl season is just 5-13, all 5 wins coming in the wild card round. Frustration. 28 seasons of frustration. For the fan base, the frustration, and the years of coming up short, are becoming unbearable. The assumption is that the frustration is a burden shared by the players and coaches, past and present, as well as everyone associated with the franchise. But is it, really? Self-sabotage. As a noun, it means the sabotaging, whether consciously or subconsciously, of oneself. As a verb, to sabotage oneself or one's own plans. We've brought up in the past that despite protestations to the contrary, Jerry Jones doesn't really want to win another title. He already has the most valuable franchise in the NFL. There's not much more he needs to do to keep the money flowing in. As he already has 3 Lombardi trophies won under his watch, he's not fully motivated to win another. That's where the subconscious self-sabotage enters the discussion. The rub is, the sabotage that is keeping the Cowboys far from another championship might just be found in the team's front office. Most general managers try to put their team and its players in the best possible position to succeed. More often than not, that hasn't been the case in Dallas. The last 3 decades have been littered with questionable moves. Trades that never really paid off. Contracts that did not bring a return on the investment, including some that should never have been offered in the first place. And then there are the drafts. Cowboys predicted to cut new running back before playing a game for Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys added running back Royce Freeman this offseason, but there is some debate whether the veteran will actually suit up for the franchise. Fans may remember that a similar thing happened to Ronald Jones too in 2023. The Cowboys signed Jones last offseason only to later release the running back before he ever played in Dallas. The Athletic's John Machoda's latest roster projections has Freeman being released and not making the final 53-man roster. Malik Davis also does not make the final roster in these projections. Malik Davis and Royce Freeman will have a chance to be part of this Final Four, Machoda detailed in a July 3, 2024, story titled, Cowboys 53-man roster projection, Trey Lance vs. Cooper Rush, decisions on the D-line. It's difficult to see Dallas keeping more than that at a position it hasn't invested very much. This is also a spot where someone not on the current roster ends up on the 53 during the season. If they aren't getting the job done, a move will need to be made. It's arguably Dallas' weakest position group. The following 4 running backs make the Cowboys roster in Machoda's projections: Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and Hunter Luepke. Freeman played in 14 games for the Los Angeles Rams, notching 77 carries for 319 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in 2023. The running back also had stints with the Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers, and Houston Texans. Even with the offseason additions of Elliott and Freeman, the running back position remains a question mark in Dallas. The Cowboys chose to pass on signing one of the top veteran running backs in free agency. Former starter Tony Pollard bolted Dallas to sign with the Tennessee Titans. Finally, the Cowboys did not address the position in the 2024 NFL Draft. It would not be a surprise if the Cowboys made a late addition to bolster the position. Regardless, Freeman's role on the team is far from certain. Freeman signed a one-year, $1.2 million contract with the Cowboys this offseason. Dallas is hoping Elliott can jump back in the time machine and be a key part of the team's rushing attack. Cowboys predicted to make trade for explosive Texans RB, logical target. The Dallas Cowboys probably need a bit of an upgrade at the running back position. As the Cowboys prepare to enter training camp later this month, they'll do so with an underwhelming group of running backs. Dallas added veteran backs Ezekiel Elliott and Royce Freeman during the offseason, but neither served as a full-time starting running back last season. The rest of the Cowboys' depth chart is rounded out by inexperienced runners such as Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, and Rico Dowdle. Neither running back has ever started a game during their professional careers. In other words, there is no clear-cut favorite to start at running back for the Cowboys. Bleacher Report's Alex Ballentine makes a bold prediction that Dallas will make a move for a running back before the season, with Ballentine projecting that the Cowboys trade for an establisher runner such as the Houston Texans' Dameon Pierce. A trade might make more sense. Dameon Pierce would be a logical target, writes Ballentine. He had a successful rookie season with the Houston Texans, but ceded his role to Devin Singletary last season, and the Texans acquired Joe Mixon this offseason. Pierce is a young 24-year-old running back and is just entering his third season in the NFL. However, he emerged as one of the NFL's best rookie running backs in 2022 when he ran for 939 yards on 4.3 yards per carry as the Texans' starting running back. His rushing yards ranked third among all rookie running backs. Bleacher Report's Derek Klassen described Pierce as a stout, explosive runner coming out of the draft. However, he fell out of favor during an absolutely rough 2023 season. Despite the Texans emerging as a playoff contender under the leadership of rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, Pierce struggled on his way to 2.9 yards per carry, the lowest rushing average among all qualifying runners last season. Pierce posted just 416 rushing yards on 145 carries with 2 touchdowns during the 2023 season. Pierce started 7 games before eventually losing his starting job to Devin Singletary. While Singletary is no longer a member of the Texans, Houston did acquire former Cincinnati Bengals Pro Bowler Joe Mixon via trade. While Mixon is a bit on the older side, he'll be 28 years old this season, he still projects as the starter with Pierce as the backup. While the Texans could very well retain Pierce considering Mixon's usage since 2017, he has served as a starting back for the past 7 seasons. They could also capitalize on acquiring some draft capital by trading with a running back-needy team such as the Cowboys. Considering Mixon, who has been a consistent starter for a number of years, was acquired for just a 7th-round pick, it's hard to envision Pierce costing much more than that. Pierce is obviously 4 years younger, with significantly less mileage on his body. That could lift the asking price to possibly a 6th-round draft pick. The Cowboys could very well go with a running back by committee game plan entering the season. But even that idea is underwhelming when considering Elliott averaged 3.5 yards per carry last season and when factoring in that Freeman has started just 1 game since the 2019 season. If the Cowboys can acquire Pierce for a low draft pick, they absolutely make a deal for a young running back who would immediately emerge as their starter. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Dameon Pierce? Leave your opinion in the comments.